Welcome to the Ellis Martin Report on Money Talk Radio. Today I'm joined by Ken Konkin, President and CEO of Goldstorm Metals Corporation, a precious and base metals exploration company with a strong strategic land position in the famed Golden Triangle of British Columbia. Goldstorm trades on the TSXV Venture Exchange under the symbol GSTM and in the U.S. on the OTC market under the symbol GSTMF. The company's flagship Crown and Electrum project sit near some of the largest gold and copper districts in the world. Ken and I are going to discuss Goldstorm's exploration strategy, recent results, and what the next steps look like as the company advances toward meaningful discovery and development. Ken, welcome to the program. It's great to have you back on. You're about to embark on a 3,000-meter drill program. Bring us up to date.
Yeah, great to be back, Ellis. Great to see you. We've never been better positioned financially going forward. So here we are on the eve of launching the convention season, and there's flood of optimism. And we're set up to go with all of the architecture required to hunt a beautiful gold copper porphyry system that we believe leads directly south from our Treaty Creek Tudor mother company through the KSM and south into the Orion Spine.
You're in the middle of a Neil Armstrong moment. You've mentioned that exploring the Golden Triangle as the glaciers retreat. We talked about this on previous broadcasts. It's like being the first on the moon with a new Delta West discovery yielding 39 grams per ton of gold, which is just over an ounce per ton. What exactly are you seeing on the ground now that was hidden under the ice just a few years ago?
I'm impressed you remember that, Ellis. That's a good one. Yeah, absolutely. Basically, our prospecting team took advantage of newly, freshly exposed area immediately to the east of the Orion Spine. More importantly, exactly 10 kilometers south of my old stomping grounds at Gratium, Valley of the Kings. So that is an important feature to recognize that we are on a trend of a precious metal belt next to a crystalline belt that is the porphyry belt. But that discovery, when we flew over it late in the season, appears to keep going to the east. So that will be a high priority target going forward for 2026 for our prospecting, mapping, and sampling teams for sure.
Look, I'm just going to drive a pickup truck up there and forget everything else and just load it up with gold and I guess silver now, because your ultra-grade silver is amazing and definitely in the zone of about 350 ounces per ton. That's unreal.
Yeah, I just did a funny thing. I thought, well, if you had a Chevy pickup or a Ford pickup, a one-ton, if you filled the thing with a one-ton, you'd be driving with like 150 grand worth of material if you could chip away that multi-kilo, 10 grand plus material. It is absolutely inconceivable that you do have a 20 kilo, a 13 kilo hit to the north, and the north of that about another 12 kilo plus hits kilogram. That's 12,000 grams. So we in Canada think in metric, but yeah, you're right, in the hundreds of ounces per ton. Unheard of grades, but absolutely with this surge in metal prices across the board, I think the future for Goldstorm Metals is very shiny, very bright.
As far as I know, the price of silver right now is $110 per ounce. I mean, that's got to be way more than double since last time we spoke. Ken, how does that change the calculus of your company and your market cap? Or how should it affect your market cap, which is still unbelievably low?
Yeah, exactly. Because I use the analogy of timing, and I reflect back to my days 5 years ago with Tudor Gold. And I told people at a show similar to the ones we're attending now in the early year here that you probably, hopefully, won't see the stock at 20 cents again. I was right with Tudor. One hole was everything. It just changed the dynamic. So we're in the same position, poised for success, a major ramp up. So this is what we're looking forward to doing, looking at 6 holes, beautifully exposing that huge 1.2 kilometer chargeability anomaly. And concurrent to that, we will be hunting very high grade silver and exposing that trend, starting at lower elevations and going to the higher elevations, as you pointed out, being Neil Armstrong, looking at brand new exposed areas. So we're really excited for this year. We've got our guys here in town. We're having meetings about this, strategizing. We're chomping at the bit to go.
Strategizing. You're sitting right between Seabridge Gold and Newmont. I mean, which one of those guys are fighting over you right now?
We are a junior level, so let's call this entry level to jump in. Those guys usually come in when you see almost to PEA coming out, but that's the Tudor gold story to the north. That's definitely sharks are in the water there. I think we're a bit early, but that's where I think the shareholder will really appreciate the opportunity to multiple gains on the stock. So this is what we're looking forward to doing.
All right, you just brought in about $1.27 million through the warrant program. For a junior explorer, that's a pretty good war chest. How are you set up for further exploration for this year?
Very thankful to the shareholders that understood that we didn't want to raise money at lower levels, that they participated. We had 100% turnover on that, so that was excellent. Going forward, we're going to watch the markets and see. We can start what the program needs to get going, but definitely a phase 2 of 6,000 meters. If we hit on any one of these holes, keep in mind, like playing Battleship, you hit on one hole, that means you have to peg 8 more holes around that. So that will require another raise for sure for the phase 2. We'll see if we can get phase 1 off and how close we are at the time, but we'll be talking to people in Toronto all the time from our American affiliates that come on the OTC. So definitely there'll be an opportunity, I think, in the future, but we just don't know when. It's always hard to predict what the school of fish are going to do. What we see is markets. If there's pressure on the markets, Chris and I will react to an opportunity as needed in a very rapid fashion. We've never had an issue raising money for this company ever.
Hey, Ken, catch up with me in a couple of weeks. It sounds like a fantastic story in the Golden Triangle of British Columbia. Thank you so much for joining me today on the program.
Yeah, thanks, Ellis.
That was Ken Konkin, President and CEO of Goldstorm Metals Corporation, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange as GSTM, and in the U.S. on the OTC as GSTMF. Goldstorm is advancing gold, silver, and copper exploration in British Columbia's Golden Triangle. To learn more about Goldstorm Metals and its projects, visit goldstormmetals.com. For the Ellis Martin Report and Money Talk Radio, I'm Ellis Martin.